Right, this is Pitsea Mount. There's that's called St Michael's Tower. That's all that's left of an old church that originally stood here. Now that there, what they're saying is from the original church. That's the actual altar table there. But this is famous, or maybe even infamous, for a so-called witch's grave, which is just round the back here. Not so much for the grave, but more for the inscription. Anne Freeman, born 30th of March 1837, died 20th of March 1879. Here lies a weak and sinful worm, the vilest of her race, saved through God's electing love, his free and sovereign grace. This is actually a family tomb. You've got Anne Freeman there, Edna Freeman there, Stephen Brown Freeman there. Now, the story is that she's a witch, but personally I don't believe that, because for one, she wouldn't be buried here on consecrated grounds or within a family tomb. Now, the story that I've heard is she was working in London for a piano maker, and she got pregnant by one of the workers who was black. Now, she apparently lost the baby, but the stigma of the time of her having a baby by a black man is why they've got on this thing the vilest of her race, because obviously in them days it was very much frowned upon. Now, he couldn't have been that bad, could he? You have a country park named after him. There's even a Wat Tyler country cafe, look, all day breakfast. Yeah, I'm just going to have to go and check that one out. Well, this lovely setting is Wat Tyler Park, just the other side of Pitsea in Essex, named after the famous Wat Tyler, who led the Peasants Revolt of 1381, which was one of the largest rebellions of the Middle Ages. It began as a protest against the poll tax, requiring all adults to pay 12 pence, 4 times the average daily unskilled wage. This is the third such tax in 4 years and was needed to finance a war against France. There's a lot of these picture boards here that give a timeline and a commentary on the Peasants' Uprising, Peasants' Revolt in 1381. It's an interesting one here. I know they say that people's surnames originate from their jobs or what they've done. So with this fellow called John Cock, you could well believe that he was a ladies' man, but he was actually a baker, and he says his wife sold beer. And when the uprising happened, he got hold of all the tax records and burnt a lot of them, so they never knew who'd paid and who hadn't. So he wasn't such a cock after all. There's a plaque here. Wat Tyler Country Park, opened by the Right Honourable Len Murray, General Secretary of the TUC, on the 14th of April 1984. This park is named as a memorial dedicated to those people of Essex and Kent who, in the cause of liberty, took part in the Peasants' Revolt of 1381. There you go, Wat Tyler Centre. If ever there was a place to plot uprising and revolution, then surely is it. This is Fobbin, a small village in Essex. This was where in 1381 people gathered together, having had enough of the The tax collectors at the time demanded more money on them so the king could fight his war in France. This is where they met in a pub down the road there, and they marched to London, which is commonly known as the Peasants Revolt. This here is in the village of Fobbing in Essex, and the pub there, the White Lion, is where the people who were to go on the Peasants Revolt 1381 to London, this is where they met. This pub was apparently built in 1380. Here's the White Lion. Peter went the White Dragon, but apparently there's a plaque on the outside commemorating the peasants, which I think is just there. So you can get a bit of film of it.
Yesterday I left mine at Pitsea.
Here we are, present day, Pitsea Market. 650 odd years since the Peasants Revolt. And look at them, they're still rebelling about paying their taxes. Trap style tracksuits for 30 quid. What have we got here? Ugg boots 20 quid.
Guys, the last bag.
Gucci handbags 20 quid. And genuine Ray-Ban sunglasses for a tenner.